people, it's an exciting episode here on Discussion on the Couch on Baswell GH, and today is going to be a very interesting topic and lit, of course. Yes, I do have with me lovely guests. I have with me Ejewa, Oreku, and Japhet going to contribute to today's discussion. I know you would love to send in your comments, so send in your comments on our YouTube platform so that we also check it out. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I go by the name Esther. Now let's go straight to the topic on board. Hi people, how are you doing?
We're good.
How was your weekend?
It's been good.
Japhet,
yeah.
good.
Weekends are always good.
Very cool.
Managing, can't complain.
Okay, so let's go straight to the topic on board today. It says, how long is too long to be in a relationship with someone before marriage? But before then, Ejewa, can you tell us something small about yourself?
I'm Angelina Ejewa Inti. I live at Achimota ABC.
Okay.
I'm a secretary.
Oh, okay.
I think that's all.
Japhet, with this your hat, tell us something.
That's my signature for the year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm Japhet. I live at Denta, and I'm into business consulting stuff.
I'll come for business
Yeah,
ideas.
you should.
Oreku.
My name is Oreku. I live at Adenta too. Like you said, but I'm at House and Down.
Are you brothers?
No, we are not siblings.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so let's go straight to the topic on board. How long is too long to be in a relationship with someone before marriage? Oreku, what do you have to say about that?
With me, I don't think there should be a time frame for that. I think when you're in a relationship with someone, marriage is a long journey. It's not just a 2-day, 3-day something. So I think when marriage comes into the picture, there's a lot of factors. Financial, all stuff comes in. So you're not bringing the time frame. When you feel like, because it will start with a man. Because
Okay.
you have to go in for the woman. So when you feel like you are, first thing, financially stable, because the married thing is just one phase of it. After the marriage, that's when the real deal is about to happen.
Okay.
So you need to be, for me as a man, you need to be financially stable before you go in for that. So it shouldn't be about a time frame like that, no. When you, the man, you are ready, for me, I think when you, the man, is ready financially, then I think you can make the step.
Just financially?
That's the most important part.
Okay.
Because after marriage, you are going to take care of the woman. She eating, maybe she might not be even working. You have to set her up or something. After the marriage too, you guys are going to have kids, rent, water bill, light bill. It entails a lot. You can't just get into marriage with the love you have for the woman. No, it doesn't work that way. You understand? So
Okay.
for the man, I believe you have to be financially stable.
Japhet, do you side with him? What do you have to say?
Yeah, I do side with him because marriage is a different ball game from relationships and stuff. And then when you ask how long is too long, it's a bit dicey. In the sense that you need a lot of preparation before you get into marriage.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about how long is too long, foremost it depends on the age brackets and then the settings pertaining to the relationship.
Okay.
So what I'll say is there's no time frame for that. But all things being equal, if two people are at a marriageable age and quite have, substantially the things needed for marriage, I think any time more than 3 years is too long.
But can you really tell us the marriageable age so we know that we are not going overboard?
Let's bring it to our African setting. If you take the people from the West, usually any time from 19, they can get married, 18, 19. And that's because economically they are ushered into more stable homes, family, jobs and all that. It's easier.
Okay.
The whole economic atmosphere there is better. But when you take the African setting, by the time you are stepping out of school, usually the youngest age out of the university is about 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably will have to do a year service, 23, probably take about 2 years to settle in. So I think in the African setting or Ghanaian, 25 years upwards is a marriageable age. And I think 25 years to 30 years is a very good time to get married.
But what if you're below that age and all the resources are available? You're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay. Jewa, the men of the house have spoken. What would you have to say about it?
Okay, I think in a relationship, there should be a time frame for courtship.
Okay.
You have to study each other. You can't just date for a week and then you jump into marriage. You might not know some bad habits of your spouse. So there should be a time frame. And Oreku was talking about being financially stable. I don't know where that finance is coming from. What do you need for marriage? It should be an understanding between you and your partner.
Okay.
Because you can decide not to have a big marriage or something. You can just go for something small and then you move on in life. But I don't know where the financial everything for marriage is coming from.
But this marriage thing we are talking about, can you people enlighten something small about marriage? Because I know marriage, it's in details. It tells a lot. So for the singles to know about it before we the singles, before we get into marriage, can you enlighten something small about what it is? Like, what is marriage itself?
For me, okay.
When married, you should know that you are leaving your home. I'm leaving my home. We are coming together to become one. And you know, with marriage, most of the responsibility is based on the man. That is my understanding.
Okay.
Most of it, because I think I don't know the tribe, but there's this tribe that when you are going to marry from them, they'll tell you that when the woman gets debt, it's for you, the man. But when she gets a property, she brings it back home. So think about it. If you, as the man, you are not financially stable, that's why I brought finances in it. Because as a man, you can't do anything. Fine, she wants a small wedding. She wants something small. You should know that first you were feeding yourself alone. You are going to feed someone's daughter. You are going to feed your wife. Fine, she might fall sick, anything can happen. You guys are going to make babies. You need to be ready for all those things. You can't just rely on, okay, fine, right now I'm receiving 2K at the end of the month and I am okay. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to plan ahead because you are come to create a family and to come with bill. Listen, after everything being said and done, we are living in Accra. Rent is going up every day. Bills are going up every day. Let's take it as if your wife is even working. She works. You are living in Adenta and she works in Accra. She's going to vodka every day. And you know, a woman's money is her money. A man's money is our money. You get it? So it's the reason why I talked about the finances is you as a man, you need to be very strong with that side. Because without that one, you can't do anything. You can't say you love the woman to the core, to everything. So you are just going to marry her like that with your NAPCO salary. You can't.
But Eric, when you look at this from this perspective, you see, as a man, if you are living life alone, there's no lady beside you. Even I think that even before you meet a lady, and you have it in mind that, okay, I am going to get married. There's some men who do not want to get married. But here's the case, Oreku, you want to get married. You are not dating yet, you're not in a relationship. But don't you think that you need to save for your marriage, your wedding ceremony, and then also save like for her giving birth and stuff before you even meet her?
Saving in Accra is a work. Saving in Accra is a whole work by its own. Understand? So let me give you a scenario. Someone works at NAPCO, is being paid 700 Ghana cedi. The person lives at Adenta. The person has to board car always to town. To let's say 37 or whatsoever for this work. How are you going to save?
You would have
and
to.
You know, with that part of town, you know how much food is expensive there.
Yeah.
You can't just go and say you are spending 20 cedis. No, it's a lie. And you are living alone. Your rent, your light bill, your water bill. So think about it.
So also, don't you think it's advisable that before you even bring the lady into your life, you could actually save and have your own place to stay instead of renting?
That's why I asked you, how are you going to save from 700 Ghana?
You would have to.
How?
That's the only money I get
saving
now.
Saving in Accra alone is work.
Okay.
It's work. I'm talking for myself, like, personally, me, I can't go into married without me being financially. I deem that one, number one, my priority, that I should be okay to be able to take care of all the needs of my wife and other needs that might come in the future.
Okay.
You understand? Other things being equal, that one we can solve that one. I can be with her, know how she is, know her character, know her family, and all those things are something it can be done.
Okay.
But you being financially stable, that's the most important thing for you as a man. Because regardless, the woman might tell you today that, you know what, let me be, it will be fine, it will be fine, it will be fine, it will be fine. 2 years, 3 years time, when she sees no change, she will leave you. You understand? You need to take care of your wife regardless.
Yeah.
Whether she's working or not, you need to. You being the man, you understand? So it's like that. You can't. I don't know about anyone, but for me, I think I need to be financially stable, be strong to be able to take care of all her needs.
Ejewa, he's still basing on finances.
But marriage is not so simple as we see. And if does it mean that if he's taking 700 cedis, he's never going to get married? He's never going to save to get married?
Oh, he will get married.
He should answer himself.
No, I mean, the reason why I brought the NAPCO thing in is, that's why I gave you a scenario. You are living at a Denta. It's different from, people are doing NAPCO, have side hustles.
But not the NAPCO per se. If you are taking 700, won't you say
I don't
to
think
get married?
with my present stage right now, if I'm taking 700, I don't think I can get married within
What if you
the next
pregnant
5.
the lady? You will never go for her
Oh,
with the 700.
we can still talk about. I can't say I will go for her or not, but with that one, you see,
It's just a matter of communication.
Yes, let me tell you something about
And understanding.
when it comes to this thing, like the woman might like you, might love you, be there for you all the time. But how long? How long will the woman sacrifice for you? Will she understand you that I'm broke?
They are all not the same.
No. Everyone has a limit.
No, they are
Everyone
all not
has.
the same. They are all not the same.
I understand that, but everyone has a limit. Even I'm not being biblical here. Jesus Christ, at a point of time, he got to his limit. You understand? When they were selling in the church, he got to his limit. He didn't. Everyone, you get it. She might tell you today that, you know what, I'll be with you, do thick and thin, but she'll hit the rock.
So
don't allow that to happen. That's it.
Okay.
That's what my
Japheth.
Okay, so this is my take on it. When we talk about financially sound, now financially sound is a margin that's different from people from different sects of society, depending on your economic rating. But I still think that for me, per se, I think that marriage is quite overrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of the time, marriage has been painted to be, it's overrated. Because for me, I think that marriage is just two friends who are in love, who are living together. That's all. A lot of people have overrated marriage. There's too much expectation from marriage. So people are expecting that once you marry, your life should transform. No.
Yeah.
A marriage doesn't bring that kind of transformation. It's just two people on their levels of operation who have decided to live together. Your living together may ease certain things because two people living under one roof would have to pay for just one form of rent. But people expect that once they are married, then they have to lift the standard of living.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes in. So, for example, you take a guy who's left home and is living in like a single room or a chamber and hall. You take another lady who is living in like a single room or a chamber or hall. So now once people have been able to leave the family settle and they are setting and they are on their own, they can fend for themselves at some level. I think that's a marriageable circumstance.
Okay.
You know? So once you can be able to commit some extra finance to just live, cater for expenses in that rate. So what I'm trying to say is, so you have two guys, a guy and a lady, they're both living in a chamber and hall. If they decide to marry, they don't necessarily have to move into a 2-bedroom because they are married.
Yeah.
They could still start with the chamber and hall. So now what's happening is that you are living in a chamber and hall. Instead of paying for two people, instead of paying for 2 chamber and halls, you're paying for one.
For one, yeah.
There's a bit of extra cash to push around, work around stuff, have a child, and then, as you grow, you move accordingly.
Okay.
But for a lot of the times, people are spending too much on the ceremony.
Okay.
We don't go back to look at the videos. We don't look at the album and all that. You know.
It's more of like
People should,
wasted money.
you know, yeah, people should do more simple weddings and invest in the marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, so one, the financial setting thing, it's a bit overrated.
Okay.
Two, a lot of the times people enter marriages and they are expecting something different. If you were not having that in your relationship, the possibility that you have that in a marriage is different. Because from what I know, people, most of the time, people go a bit cold or sour even after marriage when the realities have set in. So I think that the whole marriage thing is overrated.
Okay.
And then if you relate that to how long is too long, so we are taking two people who have moved out from home. When I say it's necessary that you are financially stable before marriage, it's in the sense that you can be on your own, whether you're in a single room or you're in whatever. But if you are living under your parents' roof, not because there's a big house available, you don't want to spend extra. You are living there because you can afford to live on your own.
Okay.
That means you are not financially sound.
Okay.
And you can't go for someone's daughter under that circumstance.
Okay.
But if you've been able to move yourself out of that setting and you live on your own, then you may be struggling, but then you are financially sound.
Okay.
Give it a bit of savings and planning and all that. You can move into marriage, but then you move at that level. You don't expect to transform. So once you're not in your family setting, you have moved out of the family house, you're financially stable. And couples must understand their financial capacity and start life from that level. They shouldn't assume that once they're married, they can shoot up. It doesn't happen like that.
Okay.
It's progress. So relating that to how long? So if we have two people who are on their own, who have left, especially if you left on your own for a year, you know your setting or your capacity in living for a year.
Okay.
Also, I'm also on the view that once you are entering into a relationship, usually the motive of a relationship must be clear. There are people who are into relationships as friends with benefits and all sort of funny ideas. That aside, because those relationships do not have expectations. But if you're in a serious relationship, then that means the objective is marriage.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I think within 6 months, you can know someone.
You're good to go.
Within 6 months, you're good to go. People may hide their, temperaments and all that, but then if you are both open-minded and roll to yourself, you can test the waters.
Sure.
For me, I think that you always find who people are. If you listen a little closely or observe a little closely,
Okay.
you know if their actions are different from the words. If they don't tell you, there's cause for alarm.
Okay.
But if you're in a relationship and you think that is good, anytime within 6 months, 3 years, all things being equal, if you are stable, you should get married. I don't know what you'll be doing after 3 years, except there's a hindrance, maybe financial or family issues you are still solving. But all things being equal, 6 to 3 years. After 3 years is a waste of time. Because sometimes after the 3 years, in my opinion, after 3 years, you're having unnecessary issues and then you've wasted investments into people for 3 years. You see people having relationships for 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they break up.
10 years has been wasted.
If the objective is marriage and all things being equal, stable, within 6 and 3 years. After 3 years, the person is wasting your time.
Okay. Woman of the house, I could see the way you're looking at him. What have you guys to say about what he said? You're against it.
For the duration, I know of someone who dated for 2 months and they got married. Yes, just 2 months. I don't know what he has seen
In her.
in the lady, but maybe what he has seen is fine for him.
Yeah.
So they can just go ahead. But after marriage, I don't know what is going to pop up. Yes, so that is the little I can say.
Okay. So in 2 seconds, please, each of you should say something to our viewers.
We are in the part of Ghana where things are always going up, expensive and stuff. So no matter how you love the girl, no matter how the girl loves you, be prepared.
Okay.
It might start with just the two of you, but you know when you get married, the girl's family becomes your family, and all those stuff. Probably you, the guy, are even taking care of your family before you bring in the girl. You understand? Extra cost.
Okay.
Just like what my brother was saying. So I will still stand by the fact that financially stable. That's
Okay.
all.
Ejiwa.
I will always say communication and understanding each other.
Okay.
Yes.
Japhet.
Yeah. So how long is too long? What I would say is, if you're in a good relationship, if you have all the settings, get married as soon as you can. Once you're sure of your relationship, get married as soon as you can, because there may not be a time frame for too long, but there's a thing like too long,
Okay.
which may put off your spouse or get your spouse to look somewhere else. So there's a time as too long. Get married as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us here. So get married as soon as you can. Communication matters, and be prepared as a man. Yes, be prepared. So this is where we draw our curtains on discussion on the couch here on Basketball GH. I go by the name Esther. Stick and stay and follow us on our social media platform. Mwah. We love you.